ain't wearing that nada. I'm sitting pretty impatient, but I know you gotta put in them hours. I'ma make it harder. I'm sending pick after picture, I'ma get you fired. I know you're always on that night shift.
Okay, so excuse my voice, I just woke up, so I feel like I sound like a man, but I am starting off by cleaning her face with some Garnier Micellar water, and then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up her brows and get them ready to be filled in. She already has really good brows, so I didn't have to do a ton of work, but I just love like a clean, bold, defined brow, and I think that the brows that I end up doing on her end up going really well with this look. So to fill in her brows, I am using the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Ultimate Brow Palette, and I am using, I believe, the darkest brown shade at the tail end, and then I think I dip into the lighter brown shade to fill in the front of her brows as well. So to define the brow, I go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Creamy Beige, and then I'm going to set that concealer down with the NYX HD Setting Powder just so that the eyeshadows that I use blend out nice and smoothly.
Let's put it in motion. I'ma give you a promotion. I'll make it feel like a vacate, turn the bed into an ocean. We don't need nobody, I just need your body. Nothing but sheets in between us, ain't no getting off early. I know you're always on that night shift, but I can't stand these nights alone. And I don't need no explanation, cause baby you're the boss at home. You don't
Okay, so for eyeshadows, I actually used a few different palettes. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, the Morphe 35P palette, the Lorac Pro palette, and then the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. So I'm starting off with transition shades, and I believe that I use these ones from the Modern Renaissance palette. And after the transition shades, I go in and just work on that brow bone. And I believe that I'm still using the Modern Renaissance palette, the more silvery shade and the more gold shimmer shade. I love those shades, like no lie. I think they're so pigmented. Even if you want to use them as highlights, you can go ahead and do that because they're just that bomb. And then once I am done with the brow bone highlight, I continue to work on that crease. So I'm just deepening it up, and I actually didn't know at this point that I was going to use purple. So I'm deepening it up with brown, and then once I figured out that I wanted to do purple on the eye, that's when I go in with some of the more warm orangey shades. So right now I'm really just building it up to make sure that that purple has something to sit up against. So I will be doing this for a while, but as you can see, it's getting progressively warmer after I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do purple.
I'm sitting pretty impatient, but I know you gotta put in them hours. I'ma make it harder. I'm sending pick after picture, I'ma get you fired. I know you're always on that night shift, but I can't stand these nights alone. And I don't need no explanation, cause baby you're the boss at home. You gotta work, but you gotta put it work. You don't gotta go to work, let my body do the work, we go out tomorrow, we go out tomorrow.
So because that purple is going to need something to stick to, I am actually using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I do not remember the exact shade. For some reason, 15 or 25 sticks out to me, and I would have no way of going back and trying to figure that out. But if I can figure it out, I will definitely leave it down in the description box. But either way, all the brands and products that I use will be in the description box. I just may not be able to remember all of the exact shades. But this purple needs something to stick to, so I'm laying it down and then blending it out with the Real Techniques, what is it called? I feel like the official name is Miracle Complexion Sponge, but I always call it my Real Technique sponge, so whatever. So now I'm laying down the purple from the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette, and at first I went in with my finger and I didn't like that. Then I went in with a fluffier eyeshadow brush, and then I didn't like that. So now I'm actually using this brush that came with the, what palette did I get that brush in? Oh, the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, I believe. But either way, so now I am building up the outer corner and still building up that crease, just because I wanted it to be a little bit more intense than it was. And now I am focusing on darkening up that outer corner to make sure that this look is nice and smoky. So my hand is blocking what I'm doing right now, but I am just adding an inner corner highlight, and I use the lightest shimmer shade in the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. Now I'm just touching up what we lost in that purple from all the blending before I go in with liner. And for liner, I'm actually just doing a pretty chill wing liner. I'm not doing anything too dramatic. And then I'm going to go ahead and curl her lashes before I go in with mascara. And the mascara that I used, that one I'll definitely list down in the description box. I got it in an Ipsy bag, and I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it will be down in the description bar. So to prime the skin, I'm going in with the Benefit POREfessional Matte Rescue Primer. And for foundation, I actually use a mix. I use the Clinique Stay Matte Foundation, and then I mix in the MAC Prolongwear Foundation because I felt like her undertone was getting lost in the Clinique foundation. So I saved the day with the MAC Prolongwear. So I'm just applying that with a brush and then using the same Real Technique sponge to blend it out and just make it a little bit more airbrushed.
Put it in motion. I'ma give you a promotion. I'll make it feel like a vacation.
So to highlight, I am using that same Maybelline concealer that I used on her eyelid to lay down the purple. So I'm putting that on her T-zones with a brush, and then I am blending it out with my sponge. Now I'm just going to set that concealer with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. So now to contour, I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, the light medium version. So I am going around her forehead, then I am going to go over her cheekbones, as well as below her chin, her jawline, and the sides of her nose. So to sharpen that contour up, I'm actually going right underneath the contour line with some LA Girl Pro Concealer just to make it look nice and defined. And for blush, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay, the 12-hour blush in the shade Party. And for highlight, I'm actually dipping into the lightest shade from my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, the Sun Dipped version. So I actually go back later and intensify it just a little bit because I really wanted that highlight to pop since we have some dramatic eyes. But I always like to lay my highlight down and then pat it out with a Real Technique sponge. So for underneath her lash line, her bottom lash line, I'm going in with the transition shades that we used on her eyelid, and then just to darken it up and deepen it up, then I start to go in with some of the deeper purple shades from the Morphe 35P palette. So I'm finishing up this look with mascara and lips. For the lips, I'm using a combination of the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Veronica, and then the Milani Amore matte lip cream in the shade Adorable. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. This was definitely fun making it. As always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know some other things that you'd like to see down at the bottom, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.